Welcome to Manly Mondays. I am the Fallible Man, and welcome to Manly Monday Live. It is awesome to have you guys here on this odd time for us. This is our first time at 4:30, guys, and let's face it, the Facebook outage kind of screwed us all up and threw us all off our normal schedule. And so, if you're here, I'm grateful that you're joining us today. Thanks for taking the time. I'm sorry we had to push back on the hour. We had this originally scheduled for 11 o'clock this morning. And well, hey, Facebook went down, and I'm an optimist, so I tried to give Facebook a chance to come back. And apparently Facebook's not coming back, so oh well, right? Maybe next time, maybe next week. But hey, same bad time, same bad channel next week. We're going to try this 4:30 time and see how that goes for us. And guys, we're going to start rolling into it because hey, it's Monday, but guess what? We're going to talk about Friday. And that probably sounds really weird to everybody. But we're going to talk about Friday, and let me know if the sound is too loud here. Oh, we're playing with the audios. Sorry, guys. We're playing with the audios as I go. It's Monday, but we're talking about Friday because shout out in the comment if you remember the TGIF Friday lineup on ABC. Does anybody actually remember TGI Fridays? Did you watch that as a family growing up? Is that something you were into? Be sure and share in the comments. If you're watching the replay, guys, I love you guys too. So check it out. Throw it out in the comments. Tell me if that was part of your life. Growing up, that was part of my life. I always got to see the TGI Friday lineup on on Friday nights, and Doug enjoying that with my family. Maybe some of you guys are old enough. Maybe some of you guys are going, what is the TGI Friday? TGIF. I'm saying it wrong. Friday night lineup. And if you are, then, well, you're obviously younger than a certain age, but we'll leave that alone. But it's good to have you whether you know it or not, guys. And I loved Friday night television because that was one of the only nights that we really got to dig into television. We got to watch TV as long as our parents kept us from watching television, but they limited how much television we watched, right? They will try to keep it within a reasonable amount. And so, but it was all good family programming. Well, that idea of TGIF has just flown into the modern world, right? So many people get to Friday and they're like, woo, thank goodness it's Friday, or thank God it's Friday, however you want to say it. TGIF, right? Now, if you're just living for TGIF, man, then I think we're missing something. Because I know we use it all the time now, right? TGIF is just a huge throwaway. People use that term all the time, and half people using it have no idea where it originally came from, that it started out as a sitcom Friday night lineup. But guys, if you're living for TGIF all the time, then maybe, I'm going to float this out there, it's going to make me unpopular. I'm here to tell you that if that's how you feel when Friday gets here, guys, you're probably got some other issues going on, and we're going to get into it in just a second, guys.
Be better tomorrow because of what you do today.
Now, guys, I know that I'm going to get some, but Brent, everybody loves Friday. And you're right, okay? I love Fridays just as much as the next person. Kind of. My Friday is different than some of you guys' Fridays, but I understand. I enjoy the weekend. I look forward to having time off from my 9-to-5 job. Okay. So let me make this really clear. I know it's going to be unpopular to say it. I'm not saying enjoying your weekend is wrong. That's not what this is about. So let me be really clear though. If the rest of your week leaves you feeling like, oh my goodness, it's finally Friday. Oh, I hate my job. I hate this. Then there's a problem, guys. It's a much bigger problem than just your job. Think of the sentiment, okay? Even if you have a good job, if you're getting to Friday and just going, man, TGIF, woo, it's Friday, it's the weekend, I can finally party, then that just kind of almost invokes a sound of desperation. And if you hate the other 4 or 5 days of your week, depending on if you work a 5-day a week or a 6-day a week or a 4-day a week job, I can't bounce all over that. So we're going to say 5-day a week, right? I'm a 4-10s guy. But if you hate the other 4 or 5 days of the week as much as that sounds like, that means you're living for 104 days a year. I mean, what do you do the other 261 days of the year? Are you so miserable? Are you just, maybe you're not absolutely miserable, but you're not where you want to be. You're not living the life you want to for 261 days out of 365 a year. Now, I know that's a lot of numbers, but you guys are smart, so you got it. You're with me, okay? The weekend is fine. We all enjoy a break from going to work. The rest of your life should not be so draining, though, and miserable that you're living for 2 days a week. Now, guys, hey, share in the comments where you're joining us from. This is only good if you guys get to join me and get to be a part of it. Also, if you want to ask a question of the Fallible Man during the live Q&A, guys, we have a Q&A section at the end of every live stream. There is a link in the YouTube description for a form that you can fill out, and that is for your safety because I need your email address to be able to send you a link to join me online live. So if you have a question and you want to ask it live on the air while we're doing this live stream, guys, hit that form down in the description section of YouTube, and that gives you a link to a Google document that will just get your name and what your question is and what your email address is, so I can send you a link and you can join me live during the stream, guys. And that's just an awesome time. And guys, you don't even have to talk about the subject at hand. You can talk about whatever subject gets you on man, husband, and father, because that's what we cover here on the Fallible Man. Now, back on topic. I know you have to make a living, guys. I absolutely get it. You got to make a living. I understand. I go to a job that is not my favorite in the world, but it's not the worst job in the world, right? It's a job where I found that middle ground of I don't have to love it because I don't hate it. But while we all have jobs and they're not necessarily where we want to be all the time, I want to float a different idea to you. Okay, I'm not going to float that nonsense crap of I think, and it's been credited to Bruce Lee and everybody else, but I think Confucius actually said, or Buddha said it first, one of those two ancient philosophers: find a job you love and you'll never work another day in your life. I'm not going to float that nonsense to you guys. I think that is nonsense. In fact, you can go back in my first season of the podcast and find where I did an entire podcast episode about a different idea entirely. I have seen people that I love to death just burn out chasing their dreams. They finally managed to chase their dream and start a business, and they got doing it full time, and that love, that passion just ended up becoming a drag, just an absolute chore. Okay? I'm not saying that. I do want to float the idea by you of you should find work that you don't dread or hate that will pay the bills, okay? I'm actually ambivalent about my job. And that's it really confuses my boss when I say that, because I don't hate my job. I don't love my job. Let's face it, not everybody can make a living doing what they want to do. I don't love the job I do for my 9 to 5, but I don't hate it either. It doesn't leave me drained. It doesn't leave me just broken at the end of the day. I have time to chase the things I do love. That's what I want to push by you guys tonight, okay? If you can find a job you don't hate that isn't just killing your soul, then the weekend doesn't become so desperate. Now, it's unhealthy to go to work hating your job every day, okay? Totally truth time. Hey, Youth Venture, thanks for joining us. Nice to see you online, man. You don't have to find something that is just your absolute passion, guys, but finding something that doesn't drain you. I had a job once, right? I had this job, and I was starting my 3rd week of the job, and I got out of my truck and closed the door and turned around. I looked at the building, and I Ralphed right there, guys. I mean, just straight up, I just all over the parking lot. It was gross. Okay. Having a job that makes you feel that way is unhealthy for you as a person. It just breaks you down. Okay. While you need a job that will provide for you, you also need one that's not completely just stealing your soul and breaking you down. Now, guys, hey, if you want to be in the drawing today, I want you to throw up on the banner, okay? Type in the chat, hashtag Manly Monday. I'm giving away a coffee mug today. If you've been on the show before, I like to give away free stuff. Mainly, it's just good merchandising for me. But hey, I love you guys, and I actually want you to dig it and be a part of things. So, hashtag Manly Monday in the comments if you want to be entered in the drawing at the end of the show. And you can be entered for a chance to win that mug. Now, going forward, guys, here's what I want to float by you is I want you to find something that's fulfilling enough that you don't mind doing it. And that sounds really weird, but I want you to find something that you can do without hating your life. I want you to find something that's going to help you be the person you want to be and help fund the life. Hey, Dave. Oh, you're switching between accounts, right? Struggling with that? Yeah, you're all over the place, man. You're under like 3 different accounts. Nice of you to join us, though, man. Thanks for jumping on. Love to see you. And guys, hey, tell us in the comments who loves their job, who doesn't, right? Your work probably isn't going to watch this show, so you're safe. And a lot of you guys are using usernames, so it's cool anyways. They won't even notice. But tell us in the comments, do you love your job? Do you don't mind your job? Do you hate your job? For better or for worse, what is it? Share it, shout out, because guess what? You're probably not alone in all of it, guys. Now, if you can find a job that gives you, oh, okay, Dave loves his job. That's good, though. Oh, well, every job gets frustrated. I agree, brother. I mean, that's the reality of life. Every job can get frustrating, but if you can go to work and it can provide for you more than it is taking resources from you, then you've really got something with that. Sometimes it's the people that get in the way. Dave is sharing with us, guys, and this is absolutely true right here. One of the hardest part about any job is always the people you work with, right? Sometimes it's really easy. Sometimes you're blessed and have really great coworkers. And other times you really struggle to get along with that 1 or 2 people who just tend to mess with your day. And that definitely sucks. But here's the question. Have you found that job that gives you what you need? Does your job allow you to live the life you want outside of work? Because that's what I want to suggest to you. I want you to try this idea. I want you to look at your life and go, does my job let me accomplish the things I want to accomplish? Or does it take more from me than I get out of it? Right? If you can pay your bills, but you hate your life, that's a horrible approach. And that takes us back to the TGI Friday approach to life. And that's where we want to get away from, guys. Living for those 104 days a year is a horrible way to live. So we want to get away from that. We want to move to a point where we can live the life we want because of the job we have. And that's where I'm at. I'm very grateful for that. And I'm not living rich, guys. I'm not a rich YouTuber. I don't drive Lamborghinis or have Bentleys or anything like that. Okay. I have car problems. In fact, I just had to deal with a major car issue that really kind of put us in a complicated situation. So what are you feeling in your life? That's the thing why I don't mind the job I have is because it doesn't take more from me than I give to it, right? I still can go home and get on YouTube and talk to you guys and hang out for a while. I can still go home and chase my passions and provide for my family, guys. And I think that's a better opportunity than even finding the job you love, right? Because so often you find out the job you love, you don't love so much when other people are involved and you have to, oh, it's like commercial break. And you have to do it the way other people do, right? It's like I never opened a restaurant as someone who loves to cook is I love to cook, but I'm not going to love to cook for somebody who tells me how to make a dish that I make because the customer's always right. And you have to do that if you want to keep selling food. Now, here's the question. If you're not able to do what you want outside of work, because the job that you have currently doesn't provide for you, then are you filling your time off with things that will help you move to a position or a job that will allow you to do what you want? That was probably a mouthful, but that's the really big question, guys. If you can't do, the job isn't providing for you, and I get it, you start into the starter jobs, right? That's the way minimum wage was really intended to be. But you get into those starter jobs and sometimes they don't provide enough. Well, what are you doing in your off time? Are you spending the time in your off time learning things that will let you get that job, that will allow you to live how you want outside of your 9-to-5 job? Are you spending your time learning things? Are you spending your time developing yourself? Are you spending your time growing in your skills? Whether that's your leadership skills, and we have a whole playlist for that if you've been on the channel before, or if that's your just intellectual skills, right? Are you growing your knowledge so you can get out of that job that's not giving you what you need to be successful and live the way you want to live? Like I said, I going back to, I have a job and it's not something I love, but it lets me take care of my family and it lets me chase my passions outside of work. And guys, that's a pretty good job because I don't feel like I'm sapped when I leave work. If you're living for Friday, you're not actually fully living. Dave said it well in the comments, guys. Be sure and join us in the comments. And while we're at it, hey, hit that hashtag again, guys. Manly Mondays, if you want to be added for the drawing. Guys, I love giving things to you. I love seeing my merchandise go out to my fans and people who are involved with us. So hashtag Manly Mondays. Hit that for sure. Dave Sharon, I love it when people are active. It's called growth mindset. If you aren't growing or trying to grow, you're technically dying inside. Simple concept, but not necessarily easy to do and practice. And that is absolutely true, Dave. In fact, I have a t-shirt on my website. I won't show it to you guys, but that's exactly what it's about. Because if you're not growing, then you're dying, because only dead things don't grow, guys. I'm a really big fan of that concept. Some people think it's a little extreme, but truthfully, it's very accurate. So after you hit that like button and tell us what you're doing for a living in the comment section, is I want to hear, guys. Like I said, I love your feedback. Here are a couple questions that you need to dig into. If you've been on the channel before, you know that we are absolutely taking ownership of our situation, because if we dictate our situation, okay, if we take control of it, if we own that, then we have the power. We have the power to affect change. We have the power to affect growth and become more than we currently are. So regardless if your job is providing so you can live the life you want outside of work, or if it's not, you're learning, or if it's not, learning to see it as a opportunity for you to live and to grow can change a lot about how you feel about your job. So if your week leaves you, I can't type, I'm reading my notes and it's horrible. If your week leaves you wanting, guys, you need to ask yourself 4 really simple questions. Does your job allow you to live the life you want outside of work? Because if it does, then you have the time, the resources, the mental space, and energy to live the way you want to be, then you need to evaluate your attitude, right? And I get caught in this trap all the time. I have a great job that allows me to do things that I want to do. It allows me to focus on you guys here on YouTube. It allows me to spend time with my wife and kids, which I absolutely just adore. And sometimes my attitude gets really rough about it. Okay, so if your job is providing for you and you still kind of hate it, then it might just be you. It's possible. I know that's not a popular opinion. I'm losing watchers just saying that. But guys, it could just be you. It's true. Now, I'm not saying it is, because if your job doesn't do those things, how are you filling your time? Are you filling your time with your plan to improve your situation? So, and I read that wrong. If it doesn't do those things, if it doesn't free up your time and your resources and your mental space and your energy to do the things you want to do, are you filling your time with your plan to improve the situation? And guys, if that's the case, even if your job isn't meeting your needs, if it's not feeding you what you need it to feed you, that's not a horrible thing, because as long as you're filling your time with your plan to get out of that situation, then be grateful that it's driving you to get out of that situation, guys. There's always another way to see the situation, and perspective has 100% with what you do, guys. 100%. How you look at it dictates everything. So if you guys are still with me, if you're following along, guys, if you are somewhere in between a job that's filling those needs and allowing you to live your life outside of work, and the job that's not filling your needs, then your overall attitude and outlook will change based on how you put yourself into it. So if you fill your life with things you're passionate about outside of work, it will change how you see your job. If you just go home from work going, oh, thank goodness it's Friday, then going to work is going to dog it, man. It's going to be horrible. But if you learn to fill your life with things you're passionate about outside of work, because guys, I hate to break this to you. It's horrible, horrible news. Are you ready? I used to think it was a cliche, but if you're not doing what you want to now, your job and your finances aren't going to change that. If you aren't doing volunteer work because your attitude is, well, if I had more time and more money, I would be doing volunteer work. No, if you want to do volunteer work, you find a way. We have a saying on the Fallible Man, and we'll see if I don't blank this out entirely. Guys, if you really want it, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. And I probably said that wrong. Dave knows that saying well. We talk about it all the time in training. Guys, if you're really passionate about it, if you really believe in what you want to do, then you'll find a way to do it, whether you have the money or the time. You'll make time. If you don't, you'll find an excuse why it doesn't work. And point number 4 that I want to share with you guys is your job is not you. Now, this is a really big struggle for men, more so for men than women. Men tend to think that their job is their life. We define ourselves by our job, right? If you ask a guy, oh, hey, introduce yourself. You're like, yo, I'm Brent and I'm an IT guy. And that's what I do for a living. I'm not an IT guy. I mean, yeah, I get paid to do that, but that's not who I am. So why do we introduce ourselves that way? It's what you do for a living. It's your income. It's not who you are. So don't confuse the two. If you confuse the two, then it's really easy to get lost in the fact that it's unfulfilling, right? If who you are is based on your job, then if your job sucks, you automatically have negative feelings about you. If your job is good, then you have better feelings about yourself. But guys, you're not your job. You are a person who goes and does something for a living, but who you are happens in those off times. The other 260 days of the year, if I go back to my math at the beginning of this, right? The other 261 days of the year, who you are, that's who you are, right? But you're also the 104. You're everything, okay? Stop limiting yourself. Stop seeing yourself as your job. Stop seeing yourself as what you do to make an income. Yeah, it's cool to enjoy those 104 days, guys. I'm not trashing, thank goodness it's Friday. But I can tell you at this point in my life, I don't hit the weekend and go, whew, it's the weekend. I'm safe. Everything's good. Now I enjoy my day from the time I get up to the time I get off. And sometimes I'm at my 9-to-5 job and it's not where I want to be, but I don't hate being there because it doesn't take anything away. I can still come home and do the things I want to do because of that 9-to-5. So guys, look at your situation. If you're not getting fulfilled by your 9-to-5, then you should be working on all your off time to fix it and improve your situation because you are capable of doing that. You have the power to affect the change you want to be. If it is letting you do the things you want to, maybe it's just your attitude, and you need to look at it through the lens of, hey, I can do all this because of this job, whether it's perfect or not. But you are not what you do for a living, guys, and that's something you really need to hone in on. You are the person you choose to be, not defined by the job you do. Now, guys, be sure and toss in if you want to be in on the drawing. Hit hashtag Manly Monday. While you're doing that, I want to share with you guys this, and this is https thefallibleman.ck.page. Guys, if you missed one of our early live streams, this is Become Unbreakable. It's 7 habits to help you become more resilient in a difficult world. Guys, it's free. Okay? Fill in your email, get a free 70-page ebook from me, and then you can take yourself right off my email list. I don't send out emails very often, guys, but I want you to have this because I want you to be as successful as you want to be. I don't see anybody drawing. Guys, I don't see any messages in my inbox, so I guess we're not doing Q&A today. Thanks for taking the time to join me. I really appreciate you being here today, guys. And as always, be better tomorrow because of what you do today. And we will see you on the next one.